Law by University of Cambridge ESOL Examinations. Published by Cambridge University Press. This recording is copyright. CD 1. Test 1. You'll hear a number of different recordings and you'll have to answer questions on what you hear. There will be time for you to read the instructions and questions, and you'll have a chance to check your work.
Part 1. You will hear a woman telephoning an eco-farm. First, you have some time to look at questions 1 to 5. Now listen carefully and answer questions 1 to 5. Good afternoon. Lakeside Eco Farm. Mark speaking.
Oh, good afternoon. My name is Helen. I was listening to a programme the other day and it said that you are a member of the Northern Hotel Group.
Yes, that's correct. Are you a member of the group?
Yes, I am, and I would like to find out about staying with you for a week during the school holidays.
No problem, Helen. May I have your full name?
Helen Pennington. That's Pennington.
Thank you, Helen. And your email address?
helen123@email.com. No dashes or underscores. Oh, sorry, actually it's probably better if I give you my work email address, which is more convenient for me. That is helen123@greenfield.com, and Greenfield is one word.
OK, and your home address?
It is 66 Lake Road, Sheffield.
May I ask where you heard about us? You mentioned a programme. Is it on TV or...?
Actually, I heard about you on the radio, and I thought it might be a good place to take my children during the summer holidays. What kind of activities do you have?
Well, here we have lodges in the woods, a couple of lakes, lots of activities and great food, so I'm sure your whole family will love it. I can give you prices for all these, but first, could I have your membership number?
Oh yes, I think it's UK 765042GE, but I will just check. It has been a while since I used it. Just a moment. Actually it is UK 765024EG.
That's fine, thank you. Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 6 to 10. Now listen carefully and answer questions 6 to 10.
Can you see my information on your system?
Yes, I've found you. So, regarding accommodation here at Island Eco Farm, for families I recommend our family chalets, as they are large and suitable for both adults and children.
OK, that sounds nice. But a lodge is probably too big for us, and I don't think we have much time and energy for cleaning, so we would like to stay in a flat, preferably near the farm.
I'm afraid there's no accommodation near the farm. Would you want to be located near the lake? It's got a great view.
Actually, my daughter would prefer to stay in the forest if possible.
That's fine. We have some lovely log cabins with room for 4 people, which would suit your family.
Yes, that's the kind of thing we want. I hope you have a wide range of food available. My husband is a meat eater. I like seafood, and my children like organic food, including plenty of vegetables.
Yes, we cater for all different types of diet, so you can get all of those preferences here, don't worry.
Great. So, what is the transport situation? Can we get there by ferry or van, for instance?
No, the best way is by train. There's a regular service from Sheffield, or there is a bike trail all the way here. It generally takes about 6 hours to ride here from Sheffield.
That sounds good, but it might be difficult with our luggage. It's a pity you don't have vans or ferry boats, but I think we will take the train. So, what activities do you have there?
We have a gardening course on planting flowers. Would that be suitable?
I was hoping for something a little more energetic to give us more exercise. A dance course, for example.
That is something guests requested in the past, but it's not something we are doing at the moment. I will bear that in mind for the future, though.
OK, that would be great. I need to get back to work, so can you email me through the prices and all the details?
Certainly. I'll send all the details through to your work email address right now.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome, and we hope to see you here at Lakeside Eco Farm soon.
Thanks, goodbye.
That is the end of part 1. You now have 1 minute to check your answers to part 1.
Section 2. You will hear a man introducing a charity to a group of listeners. First, you have some time to look at questions 11 to 16. Now listen carefully and answer questions 11 to 16. Hello everyone, thanks for attending tonight's event. Let me start with the early history of our charity, iSaver. iSaver was founded by retired optometrist Timothy Gaines. I have spent much of my working life at iSaver. I am 60 years old now, and I started working for this organisation 15 years ago, when I left a corporate position to help people with eye problems. Now our charity has been helping people for 3 decades. You may know that we are now doing various other things to help people with eye problems. That includes medications for children with eye diseases and operational help to those in the public who have eye problems. But when Mr. Gaines just founded iSaver, he wanted the program to be able to offer common eye equipment to those who needed it. We receive occasional donations from corporations and charity groups. Now we have over 1,500 volunteers who work on the streets with the little red donation boxes which many of you are familiar with, and this is the main source of funding for us. Besides, we are planning to work to secure donations from wealthy benefactors. Many people are passionate about charity cause and have been inquiring how to donate money to us. I really appreciate that. But our main need is to collect glasses for our patients. Many of you have multiple pairs of old glasses in your possession, and we encourage you to gather these pairs which you no longer need and donate them to our cause. In doing this, you'll be able to make sure that someone else can see better. Most of us cannot imagine a life in which we are unable to see well. This is why your eyeglass donations are so critical to our mission. And, as a side note, we offer full-time positions. Let me know if you are interested. Our goal is to make people aware that even the smallest of donations can help change a person's life. So, your donation can be a turning point for them. The other day, when I was talking to some people on the street, they were surprised to find out how easily some eye problems can be cured. And I'm proud to say that our next program will aim at educating people about common eye diseases. We are able to prevent many fatal eye problems. In order to publicize our charity program, we surely need to do some advertising. When we first started our program, we used computers to create awareness for our cause. For instance, promoting seminars in which we informed people as to how they could help us to solve eye problems. But in recent years, the main means of advertising our program is through audio recordings. We have found it cost-efficient and effective. It's good to know that many of our staff are recommending our program to their friends and colleagues. But I am afraid that our training cannot show people the whole picture of our program. Before you hear the rest of the talk, you have some time to look at questions 17 to 20. Now listen and answer questions 17 to 20. Finally, I would like to tell you about some organizations which have played important roles in the development and success of iSaver. Our affiliation with the National Vision Funding Group has allowed us to gain fame and to become even more significant. So, many people around the country are coming for our services. Our association with the Eye for the Future organization has allowed us to run cooperative ads by which we seek producers of equipment to work with us. Meanwhile, some of our staff has been sent to this organization for some special training. Their skills should be improved very soon. Also, we have had a long-time cooperation with Sam's Eye Care Institution. Our relationship with it has given us the opportunity to link with many different academic institutions, including colleges and universities with good reputation. And we have a similar friendship with a group called Youth Health. Our connection with that group allows us to link directly with young kids, since this is a crucial stage in their growth. We plan to contact with some colleges and hope that with their help, more college students could get to know our program. So, as you can see, we have all bases covered in linking with students, as we have affiliations directly with both administrators and the students themselves. Thank you so much for your attention today. As we try to stamp out eye problems, we will appreciate your donations, no matter how large or how small. We believe, with our efforts, the world will be a brighter and more beautiful. That's the end of section 2. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 3.
Section 3. You will hear 3 students discussing an experiment they're interested in. First, you have some time to look at questions 21 to 25. Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Oh, hi Jen and Irene. Are you two heading to class?
Hey, Bill. Yes, we're just walking there now. We're a little bit early, but we wanted to prepare our apparatus for the experiment. Do you want to walk with us?
Yes, sure. It'll be good to catch up. How is everything going with your experiment? Have you decided what your test subject is yet?
It's going really well, and we're conducting the test as laboratory partners. We've decided to test the effects of gravitational force on a series of objects with different densities.
It's interesting, but it's a lot of work. I've been planning the experiment for the last 2 weeks, and I only finished yesterday.
Gosh, Irene, I'm really impressed by how hard-working you are.
I enjoy chemistry so much that it doesn't feel like work. Whenever I have some free time at the weekend, I spend it in the laboratory working on it. It almost feels like a second home to me.
How about you, Bill? Who is your laboratory partner?
The tutor partnered me with Kim. At first I was worried because I've never worked with him before, and I was worried that he wouldn't be very good at laboratory work. But actually, he's very capable.
I've noticed that he's always very well dressed.
Yes, he's very stylish, and we share the same tastes in clothes. That doesn't stop him from getting his hands dirty, though. He's a very hard worker and makes a significant contribution, which I'm really grateful for.
It's good that you get on well with your partner. It makes the experiment so much more enjoyable when you work well together.
What do you think of the other people in our group?
A lot of the boys are really good at maths, which is really helpful with all the calculations we have to do.
Irene is good at maths as well, which makes her contribution really useful because she can do all the equations. I take care of all the writing because Irene finds that difficult. We'd probably fail without each other's help.
That's true. I'm so glad that we're nearly finished.
Only because you finished the data analysis.
Oh, Jen, you give me too much credit.
I'm so glad that I didn't get partnered with Linda again. Jen and I were grouped with her for our last experiment, and it was a nightmare.
Yes, she always submitted her work on time for the group work, but she never had her phone on her, so it was impossible for anyone to keep in touch with her and vice versa.
Her attitude was pretty annoying, but in all fairness, she was a very hard worker because she realized the amount of work needed to get a high score.
Jen is such a hard worker. In fact, she has been invited to work on the professor's personal project.
Wow, that's amazing. Well done. Why were you picked?
I thought he would pick one of the students that he's closer to, but he told me he was impressed with me because I always complete reading the assignments in time for class.
I bet you'll be really popular among the other students when they find out. They'll all want to hear about the project.
Before you hear the rest of the conversation, you have some time to look at questions 26 to 30. Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
You should give everyone tasks so that they have the opportunity to participate.
That's a really good idea, actually. Will you help me decide who to assign each task to?
Of course. Now let's see. Well, as Irene finds writing difficult, perhaps it would be useful for her to practice that by doing the bibliography.
I think the bibliography is a bit long for me. I think I'd be better suited to the methodology.
Yes, that makes sense. Bill, you've told us that Kim is a hard worker, so I think he should be tasked with the conclusions, as there is quite a lot of effort involved.
Okay, sure. I know that Kyle hasn't been feeling well, so he should take care of the abstract and the acknowledgement, because there is very little work to be done for those tasks.
Jen, do you want to review some of the literature? It's a lot of work, but I know that you really enjoy writing, so I'm confident that you'll do a good job.
Sure, sounds great.
Right, so that leaves the bibliography and the discussion to assign. I think that Linda will struggle with the amount of work involved in the referencing, so perhaps I should take care of that task, and she can do the other one?
That's great, guys. Thanks for your help. I'll tell the tutor when he arrives.
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers. Now turn to section 4.
You will hear part of a lecture for biology students about animal perceptions. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
We all know human beings are equipped with 5 basic perceptions. These senses that we have are fundamental to our thinking and understanding. The animal world puts humans to shame, though. Some animals not only have senses humans also possess, but they sense the world in entirely different ways. Ever wonder how mosquitoes find you in the dark? The truth is that they can not only see you, but also smell the carbon dioxide you breathe out. That's how they find a living and breathing host, even when it's completely dark. For many animals, it is their nose that helps them survive. For example, beetle larvae possess sharp sense of smell. They can seek out odor of vine grass from quite a distance. This grass is an excellent source of food for these larvae. When you walk in a garden in spring, you can see honeybees busy collecting pollen from flowers. When they are faced with danger, they locate their enemy by using their legs and sting it accurately. They hardly ever miss. So next time when you walk in the garden, stay away from the bees if you don't want to be in trouble. Unlike the worker bees, a queen bee is the heart and soul of a honeybee colony. A good quality queen means a strong and productive hive. Apart from laying lots of eggs, the queen's primary purpose is to produce chemical scents that help control the honeybee hive. So these chemical scents can convey important messages for other bees. When there's good order in the beehive, it can grow strong and powerful. Some other insects also make good use of their chemical scents. Some use it in their mating. Some butterflies can release a scent which can attract the opposite sex. This is similar to the use of perfume by humans to increase their charisma. Of course, insects also use other tricks, such as flapping their wings or having their wings wide open. We can use technology to navigate, like the use of GPS. Insects can navigate themselves using a variety of information, and one of those sources seems to rest inside their body. For instance, bumblebees have a small ring of magnetite particles inside their stomach, which can detect the magnetic field of the Earth and help them define its location and find its way. This is quite a sophisticated technique, isn't it? A snake is a very skilled predator. There are pits on its head, which can detect heat coming from a warm-blooded prey such as a mouse, even if they are meters away. This skill allows them to hunt in the dark with enough precision and speed. Even with tiny patches covering its eyes, a snake can show the ability to kill its prey accurately. Other predators may depend on very good sight. Eagles, for example, can recognize the body shape of a mouse or a rabbit from more than 100 meters away in the sky. Owls also possess the same ability and even have a good vision in the darkness to allow them to hunt. What about man's best friend? According to the statistics, dogs have the ability to tell the differences between 220 kinds of smells. But they have more than just a nose to help them find food. Their tongue is very sensitive too, which helps them track food from over several meters away. Dolphins, whales, and bats navigate and track prey using echolocation. This is a very advanced form of hearing that allows them to see their surroundings by listening to and analyzing the way sound reflects off objects in their environment. Echolocation in these animals is the use of high-pitched pulses of sound and listening for the return of that pulse to calculate the distance of objects in their environment, so they can find their prey in the dark nights too. So, we can see that many animals possess super abilities far beyond our reach. This lecture is to bring forward the wonderful traits that make each animal special and unique. We should respect animals. They too deserve a chance to live with equal dignity, just like humans.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. In the IELTS test, you would now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to your answer sheet.